This week, we're getting nasty. Welcome back. This week I am celebrating all things body horror. If you are listening on my horror channel, you probably know we are in the midst of body horror movie week, and I figured today would be a great opportunity to talk about something that's not specifically body horror, but I feel like body horror did have a hand in why video nasties exist. So today, let's get nasty and talk about what the hell video nasties are. Before I dive too deep into this, I feel like I should do something I haven't done yet with this. We are 15 episodes in now, and I feel like I should ask you to leave a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you're listening. If you're on YouTube, please go ahead and give this a thumbs up, drop a comment, tell me anything in the comments. Literally, tell me what you had for lunch today. Okay, let's get into it. There is an unofficial challenge in horror: watching all 72 video nasties. People have done it, but the real question is, are they actually that disturbing, or was it all hysteria? So, what are video nasties? To begin, video nasty is a British term coined in the early 1980s to describe lower budget horror and exploitation films released on VHS that were criticized for being extreme in violence, in sexual violence, and in gore. These movies bypassed cinema censorship, leading to a moral panic and the introduction of the Video Recordings Act in 1984. 1984, am I right? Anyways, in the early 1980s in the United Kingdom, horror didn't just live in theaters, it invaded people's homes. Thanks to the rise of the VHS tape, films that would have normally been cut or banned for theatrical release suddenly became widely available, unregulated, and easily rentable. This sparked so much panic, unlike anything horror had seen before at that time. I feel like The Exorcist really did, in the 70s, kind of sparked a lot of panic, but this was like the satanic panic, all of that was in the 80s. Anyways, the term video nasties was coined by, and remember this, the Director of Public Prosecutions, or the DPP, or the PP head, who compiled a list of films considered to be obscene or harmful. And these weren't just edgy movies, like they were accused of corrupting society, inciting violence, and even eroding the public's morals. And at the center of the outrage was Mary Whitehouse, a conservative activist who led a campaign against what she saw as the decline of decency in media. She would have hated Terrifier. Anyways, she and her organization, the National Viewers and Listeners Association, pushed for stricter censorship laws. The panic led to the creation of the Video Recordings Act, like I mentioned, in 1984, which made it illegal to distribute unclassified video content. This meant that every film released on VHS in the UK had to be approved by the British Board of Film Classification. Police began raiding video stores, seizing tapes, and in some cases, prosecuting distributors and shop owners. Owning or selling certain tapes could literally land you in legal trouble. The Pee-Pee Poo-Poo Head, the DPP, their list eventually included 72 films, some prosecuted successfully and others not. These films became notorious not for just their content, but for their status. Being labeled a video nasty turned them into some sort of forbidden object, making horror fans want it even more. And ironically, the censorship created a black market. Bootleg copies circulated, and the films gained cult status. What was meant to suppress them actually made them legendary. Some movies like Cannibal Holocaust, Driller Killer, I Spit on Your Grave, even The Evil Dead and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre were all labeled video nasties. By the 1990s and 2000s, many of these films were reevaluated and eventually re-released, uncut or with minimal edits. Today, the Video Nasties era is seen as a defining moment in horror history, a time when the genre was powerful enough to scare not just audiences, but governments. It also changed how films are classified, distributed, and helped shape the identity of horror as a boundary-pushing genre. Before I go, if you are interested in the Video Nasty, I would like to put this on your radar. Video Nasties, The Definitive Guide. This is a 3-disc box set and documentary project put out by Nucleus Films, and it's basically the holy grail of Video Nasties content. It includes a full documentary called Video Nasties, Moral Panic, Censorship, and Videotape, plus individual intros and discussions for all 72 films, featuring horror experts, critics, and filmmakers breaking down each title, and one of those experts being one of my favorite horror humans ever, Rebecca McKendry. Also, if you like soaking up knowledge like me or reading and still want to check out more, definitely search for Art of the Nasty, a companion book that breaks down all 72 films in detail, and a book called Shock Value, which is more general horror history, but it does touch on censorship culture. I would actually like to recommend the movie Censor, American Sweatshop, and the new Faces of Death. They all deal with the theme of censorship in media. And in saying all of that, I'm very excited for the new Faces of Death. The first time I saw Faces of Death, it was the summer before 9th grade, and I remember I was up late watching horror movies on my computer, on family desktop, as I did. My parents were going to bed, and I remember watching this movie, and it got to the electric chair scene, and I was so scared and so afraid. I left the movie playing. I ran upstairs. I screamed. I cried. I made my mom come down and shut the movie off. It scarred me. But now that I go back and revisit it, I can discern what is not real. Traces of Death is a harder watch for me at this point. But anyways, on that note, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening. And thank you so very much for being weird. Please don't forget to give this a 5-star rating wherever you are, a thumbs up. Let me know what you had for lunch in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Sayonara, suckers.